Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is doing wonderful. I am feeling pretty darn amazing right now. I've accomplished a lot in the last couple days, so yeah, I feel like I'm on a roll, and I just wanted to share this with everything with you guys. About a month and a half ago, I made a video talking about making Celtic God statues, for my altar and for my practices. And I've made 5 more, and I'm very happy with it. The wonderful thing about this is I'm getting a little bit better with everything that I do. Better woodworking, better painting skills, so I'm trying to do a little bit more each time, and like I said, I'm pretty happy about this. So let's get started on them. This one right here is Andraste. She is the Celtic goddess of victory. She is very connected to the Iceni tribe, who is famous because of their queen, Boudicca, who led the first successful attack and defeat of a Roman legion in the British Isles. Um, like I said, my painting skills I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with. And I've let my first 6 be kind of plain, but I decided I was going to try to add a little bit more each time. And I don't know if you can, there it is, you can kind of see it. I used silver paint and copper paint to add a sword, because she is the goddess of victory, of battle, yes! This one's not as decorative, but this is Lear, who is the Celtic god of the sea. Blue flowing cloak, silver chest plate, because when the sun, well, not the sun, when the moon reflects off the sea, it's kind of a silverish light to it. So I figured, okay, that'd be good. And he's got pants on underneath his cloak, and those are seafoam green. So I am not the greatest at pronouncing these names, and like I said, I'm trying to do this all by myself, so I might butcher this name. I am sorry. This right here is Lusiteus. This is the Celtic god of weather. And so I put him in a grayish cloak. The actual name of the paint was Rain Gray, so I thought this was perfect. And then what I did was I highlighted it with other shades of gray, some lighter shades, because it's like clouds, a cloudy cloak. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. And then he's got sky blue tunic underneath, because he's also not just about storms, he's also about good weather as well. I thought that was pretty cool. The next one is Granus. He is the Celtic healing god. A Celtic healing god. So the Celts had many gods doing the same thing. It all depends on what tribe you reference. This is a Gallic healing god. And so that's why he is with the light green and the lighter blue. Well, not as light blue. This particular Celtic god is associated with wells and springs, just like many other Celtic gods are. And so I thought, well, that's water. A good water color would be good. And so, the blue to symbolize, the healing springs. And then a lot of new growth is a very light green, so that's why he's got on a light green tunic. And like I said, my painting skills are getting a little bit better. I put on a Celtic cross on his neck, so that, displaying, the Celtic connections. And the last one is one I'm very happy about, and this is why I really couldn't use a blue screen. It's the Celtic God Statues. She is the Celtic goddess of love. I'm trying to balance out my emotions and all that, and balance for me is very important. And so I had a goddess of victory. I thought I better have something a little bit more positive, and so I have Dwayne. In her hand, I put a rose. That's kind of a romantic thing. And then she has a crown of flowers and a pink ribbon in back. I thought that was very colorful and creative, and this gives me a total of 11 Celtic God statues created, and last night I made 6 more forms so that I will be expanding. Don't know which ones I'm going to do next. It kind of, whatever strikes me is what I do. So I wanted to show you this, and I got some side videos to show you next, so stay tuned.
Hello, it's update time. Well, look at that beautiful flowers. This is my Terentia Connie Rose. The last little update, it only had 1 or 2 flowers on it, and now she's just loaded. That is just so beautiful. And here is the latest project that I worked on today. This was a mess when I first bought this house. There was an old shed that was right here, an old metal, ugly, collapsed, rusty shed, and I took that out as soon as I could. And we had weeds here. We had to let it kind of go rough last year, but this year I'm reclaiming it. I have taken some old brick that I had all around the yard that I had stocked up. I'm using that as trim. I got some cedar mulch down. And in a month or 2, I will be planting 3 trees here. Not sure which ones I'm going to be planting. I was thinking about maybe like some yews, like a blue carpet yew. So there would be 1 right over here, and then 2 over in these areas. So this whole area would be filled with a nice hedge. And then this nice open area right here, this is nice and level. I'll be getting 4 pavers next year, and I will be putting a picnic table right here. What you don't see is I got canopy of trees above the garage, and so with a picnic table right here, Cindy and I, we would have a place where we can eat outside and still feel the breeze and plenty of shade, and maybe even read if we felt like it. And then with it being, of course, right next to my garage, we'll have power, so, we don't have to run all these long extension cords, because all you have to do is just walk in the door and there's a plug-in for my wonderful little garage.
My house is very important to me, and so is my yard. It is very important to me that it does not have the prefabricated feel to it. That's why I'm using up a lot of these bricks that were in the yard, and used them for trim pieces, and I've used them for that drainage part, because it gives it a rustic feel to it, not a prefabbed. There are some places where, yes, I have to buy new things like my gutters, and that's fine. But if I don't need to, I'm not going to. Because I want it to reflect a simpler life in many ways. and that's why I'm doing everything the way that I am. The flowers are important to me, the plants, the trees, everything is important to me. What I forgot to show you on the video is behind the garage. There are just a large stack of logs. I had to cut down part of a cherry tree, and instead of using it for firewood or giving it to somebody that could use it for firewood, I threw the wood behind the garage. And the reason for that is all about the lightning bugs and for all the other bugs, because I think they're an important part of the ecosystem. Lightning bugs don't travel very far, and they live under old rotting wood. Well, there was not a lot of old rotting wood in my area, and my first summer here, you might see 2-3 lightning bugs a night. And I love lightning bugs. It's always been like a sign of my childhood, you know, going outside summer nights and you should see 10-15 lightning bugs. So I wanted to support, you know, lightning bugs and other insects. And so the lightning bugs are supported thanks to all the wood behind my garage. And now when I go out at night, you know, I don't even have to be outside 10 seconds and I see at least 2. So I'm very happy about that. The wood also gives shelter to some small animals such as rabbits, which is important to me as well. I have a lot of stuff I've been moving today. I moved some large rock and upset a couple snakes, but a little gardener snake, so, you know, they'll be alright because there's other places for them to live. I am planting rhubarb, blackberries, and all that all over the yard. My yard was going to be a victory garden, and the victory is going to be mine. Trying to live a positive, wonderful life, and I just wanted to share that with you. So everybody take care, be at peace.